Okay, and it has to start from the flatness. Right? You got me on that? Now here goes some more words. It says, say, cuckoo, kitten, cricket squad. Say that.
Cuckoo, kitten, cricket squad.
Cuckoo, kitten. It's a tongue twister, right? Cuckoo, kitten, cricket squad. But what you're doing, in actuality, you're practicing the pronunciation of calf. Say cuckoo. You see that? That's with the dhamma. That's calf with dhamma. Ku. Say kitten. That's calf with kesra. Cricket, cricket is at the end. You have that cricket squad. The calf is just in there. Okay, it's not for any particular kefeta kesra reasoning. But here you have the pronunciation of calf in English, how you would say it in Arabic. Cuckoo, kitten, cricket squad. So these are sounds that we are already familiar with. We don't have any problems with calf. The shidda is inside, they cried. Now we know shidda is one of the sifat of calf, meaning you have to do it with some force. When you say ik, say ik. You see, you have to do it with some force. There has to be some strength there, or the sound will not emerge. So that's why shidda is in there. So some cocoa-colored cats, they scream. Say that. Cocoa-colored cats, they screamed. Again, this is just a funny way of just learning how to pronounce the letter calf. All those sounds that you see are English words that everybody knows how to pronounce, but they may not recognize that this is the exact way you say calf. Then it says, it's something what the kafun needs. Something is restraint. The whole time you're doing, and control, I should say also. Here, the mindset is with control. You're controlling your movement as you emerge with the sound of the calf. So you go, ik. You hear your nose is controlling. Your nose has air in it, and you're holding it. Pay attention. Say calf. Ik. Thick. You see, you notice now, the point I want you to notice is that you're holding air inside your nose. Say thick. Tick, tack. You're ending off at the makhraj, but you notice that air is being held in your nose. And that's what that is called, samtun, that restraint, that control. You're not just breathing any way you like. Does that make sense? No. Can we go on? Next letter. Okay, lamb. It says, lots of lovers of Allah love living life a lie. 30s right for lamun, listen lively, learn the line. Idgham for lamb completely without any compromise. For gunna to improperly take us by surprise. You got to go down, bro. The canine and incisors inner up and on the right. The edges where the lamb hides and on the gums very light. Tawassatun and jahrun, fatun istifal. Inhiraf al-lamun, and with dhalaqun say el. Okay? So let's go back down and do this again. It goes like this. Understand the line. Lots of lovers of Allah love living life a lie. Here you see lamb. Lamb, 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 lamb. The line makes sense. It says, lots of lovers of Allah love living life a lie. Here, the purpose for this line is twofold. One, for people to think about it. Second is for you to practice the letter lam. So you have a line almost all completely built up of the lam. What it means, it says here that people who believe in Allah and love Allah, what happens? For the most part, they live their life doing other than what they would like to do. Especially when you come to the United States and you start doing riba and you start, working in jobs that do haram and all types of things. You start shaving your beard, you start dressing funny and not properly following the sunnah. And you say you don't like that, but you continue to do that and you say you love Allah. It's an oxymoronic statement for people to think about and reflect upon. But our purpose here, for the purpose of the class, is for us to learn how to say lamb. Lovers of Allah, the lamb of Allah, has to be taken into consideration. It has its own pronunciation. When you say Allah, say Allah. Allah. You may not notice it, but I want you to notice it. Min al-an fa sa'at, from now on. Whenever you say Allah or Kitabullah, say Kitabullah. Kitabullah. You're saying the lamb with a fakhm, a round mouth. You're saying it like you're making the lamb fat. Think of a big fat lamb. Okay? Say Allah. Allah. You're not saying it like when you say a'udhu billahi. You say billahi. Say billahi. Now you're saying it real skinny. Tarqiq. Okay? The lam switches. Whenever there's a kasra preceding the lam of Allah, meaning the lam that's in the name of Allah, we say billah. And with the a sound and the la. Okay? We call this thinning up the lam. Making it what? Thin, like me. Okay? But when we say Allah, say Allah. Now you got a big lamb. I can imagine us being one lamb. Now if it's one, it's billah, thin. If it's Allah, you see how we made the lamb big now? We're pretending to be a lamb. Okay? So just okay. But that's just a visual for you guys to understand. So whenever it's Allah or Allah, it's like that. But when it's billah, it's a. So do you understand that? Everybody got that? That's another point we want to just mention with the lam. That's why lam is a very important letter. And the ulama spend a lot of energy reflecting and talking about this letter. Next we have 30s right for lam, listen lively, learn the line. It says, again, all throughout these poems we're putting the lam sound in there so we can practice saying lam. Okay? And make the adjustments on your paper. Okay? Make the adjustments if you like. Okay, jazakumullah khair. The numeric value of lam is what? 30. As I said, it goes 1 to 10, then 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 to 100, and then from 100, 200, 300 to 1,000. That's how the Arabic numbers go. Okay? Every letter has a numeric value going in that order. So that's how we follow it. Anyway, so 30 is for lam. Listen lively, learn the line. This is again a reflection of the first line. Go back to the first line. And also, here it mentions, that but we find that this has all the lambs in there so you could pronounce it again. Okay, now go up again. Rise up, please. Idgham for lam completely without any compromise. Here you're learning the details of tajweed in a real beginner format. Lam, the tajweed rule, thank you, jazakumullah khair. The tajweed rule for lam is what they call it? Good. There is no good. I'm saying idgham completely. It's complete idgham. I got confused right quick. For lam, it's called complete idgham. Now, idgham means dakhala shay fi shay, but I'm not going to really get it. It's to enter something on something else. But as a rule, there's two types, right? Incomplete idgham and complete idgham. Okay? It's a tajweed rule. Here, the lam has complete idgham. What does that mean for you as a beginner? All it means is that there is no gunnah in the idgham. There is no gunnah when you're dealing with the lam. Okay? No gunnah when you're dealing with what? Lam. So what we want to do here is familiarize you with this concept when you learn the letter, not later on down the line. You may not fully understand the concept now, but that's not the point now. The point now is for you to learn the alphabet, right? And to become familiar with the things attached to that. Afterwards, when you start studying, those numbers that I keep pointing to will become very, very important to you. Because you'll see them all over the place when you study classics. There won't be a classic you study that doesn't use those letters as numbers somewhere. Or some sheikh who organized his work and he put first point alif, second point ba, third point jim. The next one, fourth point, del. You'll be able to follow that all the way down. So you'll get more familiar with that. Okay? When you study tajweed, when the sheikh mentions, or the teacher, he mentions lam, it has complete idgham, you say, wow, I remember that. You're familiar with that in your first lesson, and now it's becoming confirmed and strengthened, knowledge on top of knowledge. It becomes strong. And you know it even further. And he may not mention at the immediate point about the gunnah, but then when you start to recite to him, and he tells you, leave off that gunnah when you're dealing with the lam. And he shows you how to do that. Again, it all comes, Islam supports itself. And the studies of a talib al-ilm likewise do that. Okay? It's important on the way that you learn the information. Going right along, and again, this was put together, taking into consideration what a non-Arab person has to go through in learning the sciences as a talib al-ilm, and he doesn't know these things. Some of the Arabs may already know these things growing up. Learning them, it's not even mentioned. Okay? Because it's there. But you and I, those people who didn't grow up in the desert, because even Arabs, if they don't grow up in the desert, they're not familiar with Abjadiyya.